Okay, would you join me in the pledge? I
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Derek, I was going to pause it just because let us
you know.
through it.
I've been all about it. We should have coordinated.
Let's hear, even though he's not. Okay, do you want to, well, first of all, I guess go around. Do you have anything for John? How the ditch is full?
Samantha, you have a public comment, or Gary?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Do you have a public comment, Sam?
I do not.
Gary? Okay. All right. Carl?
I don't have anything.
Gary?
So we had an ambulance committee meeting on Tuesday. Is that right?
Sounds right.
So that was very helpful. Learned some things, and then later on, I met with the state's attorney, and then moved on, had a meeting with the state's attorney, Horizon's attorney, and Ollie on Thursday, and we worked through some of the contract issues that brought up. So nothing too exciting there. I think airport wise.
Just talked to Barry. The contractor's got everything turned in. They're turning in the final sequence or planned events or schedule this morning. The state will then go and say yay or nay or ask them to modify that, and then they're looking to start next week, but I don't have a date. Okay?
It's I can remember from the meeting as it is.
Well, they had talked about today. And
Right.
That's not gonna happen.
What was the window on that? I know it's flexible, at least they can turn it on and turn it off. Was it 60 days?
I thought it was 83.
I
83,
recall also on
83 or 84 days, somewhere in the low 80s, okay?
Okay, so that should be more than sufficient. The one question mark was they've been told about the tank being ready at the beginning of June, but
Which
there
was
was
ahead of time, yeah.
questions on whether the veracity of that claim could be.
Right. And I don't know any further than that on that issue.
Okay.
Let's just stay on the ambulance thing for a second. Notice on the agenda that the state's attorney, and please hop in here, do you want to, since you talked to the state's attorney directly, do you want to relate to us what he told you?
I'd be more than happy. It was brought to our attention that we made a procedural error in not publishing the notice of the meeting in the paper, the special meeting. That's found over in the county's code. Over in the Open Meetings Act, we 100% complied with those statutes. So after thoroughly discussing this multiple times with the state's attorney, looking into the statutes, while I do not believe that it is a fatal error by any means, and it does not invalidate what we've done, we want to go back and we want to do it right. So that's really what this is all about, is just more or less correcting a procedural error, and we're going to do it right.
We're taking any question away.
Taking any question away, whether it was for whatever reason, yes.
Okay, so I assume looking forward on the county board agenda, you're talking about numbers 9, 10, and 11?
Well, we first are looking at number 9.
So that's what we did last in the special meeting.
Right, it'll have to come off the table, and then we'll have a motion, and then we'll re-vote on it.
I guess my question is, I'm trying to discern what the difference between number 9, number 10, and number 11 are.
Well,
You
first
know,
things
they're all
first.
kind of the same thing.
Well, first things first.
Okay.
Mark believes that it's a formality. We've
No,
already,
and I understand that.
yeah, but you got to do that first. Then you go back and you approve the resolution to amend the levy to abate it down to 0. okay? And after you do that, then you enter into a contract. So he said those are the steps.
So,
Accepting the bid, that terminology is just that we recognize they are submitting the bid. So don't we need to accept the other bid also?
No.
No.
Okay.
Accepting for approval. In other words,
Yeah.
we're
Okay.
accepting that as the winning bid.
I'm just trying to get picky on semantics to make sure
I'm confused also.
we're doing it right, so.
The number
Okay.
11
Will be tabled.
is be tabled? Okay,
It'll
that's
come
what I
up
was
the
gonna
next,
ask. That's what I was gonna
next
ask.
study session. We'll have a special meeting before that. And everybody will have a chance to review that document. And then we'll have a special meeting at 9 o'clock on the 20th. And then we'll either approve or not
So-
approve that particular.
On number 11, really, we could not do anything until June the 1st, is that correct? Because right now,
We
they
might
would
get
not
that.
be in compliance with our specifications for the ambulance service. So you'll have 3 ambulances, and I don't know, do they have a paramedic assist vehicle? Is it set up like with the siren and lights and all that?
Well,
It
the-
doesn't have, but it will have by the end
Pardon?
of the week. It does not have currently, but it will
That's
have
what I'm
by the
saying,
end
so
of the
really,
week.
the contract cannot be signed until,
That's not correct, Dan.
okay.
All right. When
Well,
when
they
are you
don't meet
getting the third
specifications, how
ambulance
could you
in?
sign a contract?
Tomorrow?
What?
Tomorrow?
The third ambulance will be here tomorrow,
Okay.
all right?
And-
And we can sign a contract because what it says is the effective date of the contract is June 1. You can't
And
wait to June 1 to sign a contract.
Another question. Should we table the number 10?
No, because we're run out of time. We either do that or we don't.
how does, if we,
Because the tax bills have,
Okay.
the tax bills have to go out. And we're at the point where either, go ahead, Augie.
No, you're doing a great job, keep going.
They have to, everything's ready except that particular issue. And in order to get the tax bills out on time and do the things we need to do, that levy needs to be abated.
Okay, but if, when it comes to vote on number 11, if for some reason it doesn't get approved,
Then we'll have to renegotiate to get it approved. I mean,
Okay.
everybody, I think,
well, I haven't seen the contract, so I don't know whether it's satisfactory or not.
well, we will have
Haven't seen
awarded the bid.
contract either.
Right. But I'm just saying,
I'm
Should we
just,
be able to see the contract before it's signed?
The
well,
con-
yeah, we will.
you know,
That's
you will-
why-
You'll have a week plus.
Right.
Go ahead, Augie.
No, that's why we're gonna table the contract one. It was, the agenda is it's a fluid process. When we put things on, we have to make corrections, additions, modifications, state's attorney, and so that's the way it was, very late in the game, okay?
Right.
Friday night at 5:30 when I left, that's the way it was. And so, to do over again, we would have not put that on there. So it doesn't hurt that it's there, we're just
Right.
gonna table it. And he is working on the contract as we speak.
And everybody's got together on that, correct?
So I don't think we've addressed your question, Carl, or your concern.
I don't know how to avoid that, Carl.
Well, I guess I'm saying if for some reason when we come to our special meeting and it doesn't get approved, then if, you know,
Baited the levy.
pardon,
We've already baited the levy, is your point.
yeah, then what do we do?
Well, the other thing that we're exposed to is the state's attorney keeps saying that we can't demand more than is in the bid.
I understand, but I'm just,
I'm just,
I totally understand that, but do you have something in writing at this point, or is it something he's working on? The contract?
They're working on, I don't understand something in writing.
Do you have a contract?
no.
Okay, that's my question.
If we
So
share,
when is he gonna have something for us to look at,
Hopefully,
Hopefully within the next.
before the meeting, obviously.
Yeah,
so we're gonna sit around here for 2 weeks, waiting to see what's in the contract, and then if it's not satisfactory, then,
no, I don't
Yes, I
believe it's
still
gonna
don't follow
be
your
2
logic.
weeks. I think it's gonna be a matter of days, a couple of days.
but I had some concerns
Right.
when I talked to you, and if some of those, I wanna see what those, how
I can
he's
tell you that
addressing.
there will not be any language referring to staffing of third ambulance.
Okay,
The third ambulance will be staffed, but there will not be any language on that.
okay, well, that could be a problem, so, we'll see.
I have a question.
And we might, maybe need to have another ambulance meeting to discuss some things.
what?
I have a question for Samantha. Again, on the paramedic assist vehicle, is that gonna be one of the vans that they have out there? Is it gonna be different?
No, it's a 2019 Chevy Silverado. It's sitting out in the parking lot. It's just not
Okay.
equipped yet.
Just asking.
If we do not abate the levy and the tax bills go out the way they are, we will have to refund everybody.
Yeah, and when do they go out?
Well, Don would like it to go out as soon as possible.
Well, how soon as possible?
Well, as soon as possible.
2 weeks,
No, I'm not
A
done,
month?
I'm not done yet.
okay,
And assuming that I can get done, I'm waiting on approval forms to come back to my office based upon what I'm getting down into the weeds here, but that's gotta come back. Then we're gonna double check it again, all the levies, and then we send it to Don. Don likes to have, 10 days, 2 weeks to look everything over. So at the very soonest, we're looking at the end of the month for the tax bills to go out. And we have a timeline that we're working on, and what day is May, let's see, board meeting is 8, 9, 10, 11.
11 is a Saturday.
Okay, so 10 and 17th was our goal to be done out of my office, to shift it over to Don, so that he could have a couple weeks to do whatever he does with those, and then that puts us.
so if we don't approve this, then you can't do anything.
Well, that's pretty much right.
Till it gets approved.
Yes. Yep.
Can I ask another question on the same issue? By abating the fiscal year 19, how are we as far as settling up with Edgar County Ambulance Service? Because, you know, we're gonna owe them for half of 19, or
We're
They've
done.
already been paid.
they've
Already
been
been
paid.
paid. Everything's done.
So that came out of FY 18, what they did in 19, okay.
Question on number 18, on the 911 board, you're still on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna have 2 board members. Why wouldn't we have a Horizon Health employee
We
on the
may
board?
soon, we
Pardon?
have somebody in the chute for that.
Okay, I just wondered, they probably should have somebody on the board. Okay.
And I know somebody that would be interested in being on that board too.
Currently, there's 8 positions. I think, well, it was set up for 8 positions and 2 people have resigned.
Mhm.
So now there's only 6 people, currently 6 people.
Yeah, because we decided we could ride it at 7, when I think it was Cindy. We
Right.
decided there was no reason to do anything.
And of
Immediately.
those 8 positions, there's only 3 emergency responders on there currently.
So should we have another board member or have a citizen on the
Well,
911 board?
we've
That's
got-
my appointment.
Pardon?
That's the person I'm gonna appoint.
I just
The
wondered-
ambulance people,
I just asked.
in consultation, 911 would like Andy appointed also. Okay?
The chairman has indicated, I haven't had any conversation with the chairman about it, of the 911 board, but through Jeff, he's talked to other people and talked to Jeff, and Jeff's talked to me. about Andy.
And
Right.
I've,
But it, I mean, you know, there's, in the statute, it says there's a county board member, and I think it says there has to be at least 3 emergency responders, and there has to be 1 person from the public, if I remember right. And the other members can be anybody.
You say you had somebody,
I've talked to Dean Moco, because I knew there might be some, and, you know, he's told me he would be willing to do it, and he's, on the
Right.
and he's on
He's
the.
a trustee of the fire protection
Right,
district.
that's, thank you, I couldn't come up with the term, I knew what he was.
Right.
And yeah, well, and we are gonna have another position potentially down the road to fill, but,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
possibly, yeah.
yeah,
not good health.
what's that?
One I think of, not very good health. Clark, I think, right?
Yeah.
Well, just gonna have to wait and see, I guess, huh? Is there anything else to come before the meeting today? I really don't have anything, I've been kind of working on other things. Do you have anything, Augie? Jeff? Well, I guess we need.
One quick question, looking on down through the list for Wednesday. The resolution establishing civil fees, number 22, I assume that's since the state changed the fee structures that we can charge, we're just making that line up.
Yeah, that comes out of the circuit clerk's office.
Mhm.
Judge Gars and Mark have been all over that, along with Angie, and drafted the resolution. And it spells out the new fees that are being imposed.
I assume that was it, just double checking.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Okay.
And Angie said she would be more than happy to address the board before the meeting, if you would like her to do that. She can go into more detail.
She said she would be there.
Yeah, okay.
Well, and she explained too how it's changing, and you know, there was state legislation that changed on how much they could charge, and
Yep.
yeah.
So we're doing this because the state statutes changed on the fees,
Mhm.
Yes, that's my understanding, yes.
and we're changing it to whatever the state says it has to be.
That's my understanding, yes, Carl. Now, she brought in and said, this is what the judge and Mark have looked this over, and they would like this put on the agenda. 'Cause-
Is this in here, what that is?
No, it is, it's a thick document, it's not in there, but I'll be more than happy to get it out to you.
So she can address this at the meeting?
Absolutely, she would be glad to do that.
Okay.
Any other questions on the agenda? Take a motion to adjourn? So moved. Second?
I'll second.
7 seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.